Sybelle Thomson is a fifth-generation auctioneer.
Are you okay back there, pal?
3 auction houses across Scotland. Her Edinburgh flagship, one near the borders in the rolling hills in Dumfries, and another on the west coast in Ayr.
At £150.
With her devoted team...
Let's head in.
Yeah, sounds good.
You are so good, Caroline.
Son and heir to her auction house empire, Cameron.
When you were a baby, you loved being rocked. Rock the day away.
And her beloved dog, Roscoe.
No, Roscoe!
She's on a mission to help customers clear their homes.
Oh, lots of items up here.
Of curios.
They would be the handcuffs, wouldn't they, to go with the hat? Dad was in the police force for 25 years.
Heirlooms.
There's a few bits that belong to my grandmother in there as well.
Jewellery was made to be worn.
And once treasured collections.
Kevin Keegan. Now, he, I'm sure, had a perm in the 80s, a bit like me.
And make them a tidy little sum come auction day.
£350.
Holy moly.
That was worth the effort. It's definitely coming very autumnal.
Yes.
The leaves are coming off the trees. Actually, it's amazing, the Scottish scenery.
Sybelle travels over 500 miles each week, driving to clearances. And today, she's heading to the Isle of Arran, off the west coast of Scotland. She'll be bringing back any items she finds to her Ayr auction room. So manager and art specialist Michael is coming, with removals expert Caroline.
Michael, we've got a really interesting job today.
Okay.
They've got some nice pictures, looks like some interesting furniture.
Yeah.
So actually, I think we're going to have great fun today.
They've got a 6-hour trip ahead of them, part of it by ferry. The team will rendezvous at the port in Cluneg. And this job is a multi-generational house clearance, with items potentially dating back over 100 years. So the epic journey should be well worth it.
What a day to be travelling through Scotland. This weather, but it is so typical Scottish weather, isn't it? You know, it's days like this that sometimes the ferries are cancelled.
Oh, don't say that.
The Isle of Arran has a population of just 5,000. 2 of them are sisters Shona and Sandy.
We're at Mum and Dad's house, which previously was Granny and Grandpa's house, and before them, Great-Granny and Grandpa's house. So lots of history.
Sisters and best friends Shona and Sandy still live on Arran, just a mile down the road from their parents' house.
I love living in Arran. It's obviously in my blood. The kids have had a happy upbringing here, very happy.
In the last 3 years, Shona and Sandy sadly lost both of their parents. Sheila, an ex-primary school dinner lady, and Alex, a retired police officer.
Our parents met in their 20s?
Yeah,
Yes,
the 20s and Rosie at the dancing. Yeah, Mum was just so sociable. Mum was out every night. There was rural, there was country dancing, there was sewing. She liked a wee sherry in a crystal glass with lemonade.
Not a straight sherry.
No, not a straight sherry. It had to have lemonade in it. She was a lightweight. Dad used to make his bed meticulously every morning, and he sat his truncheon on top of the bed. Yes, he wasn't always the tidiest, but the bed was made immaculately every morning. The rest didn't matter, did it? Yeah, they were content here. They just bounced along, I would say, the pair of them.
Shona's mum and dad lived here for nearly 40 years, and the property has been passed through 4 generations. The sisters plan to use the funds raised to renovate it so they can keep it in the family for many more years to come.
I'll probably be sad when you come back and it's empty, but we've got to empty it to renovate it, so I think we've been sentimental, we've taken what we want now, we just have to be a wee bit tough now, haven't we?
We do. There's a lot of redecoration, walls needing fixed, a leak
Sometimes when we look at the work, we think, oh, this is madness.
Don't worry, ladies. Help is on the way. Yikes. That's if they make it.
Can I get back off?
Let's hope they've got their sea legs on.
This is wild. God, this is a bit better. Come on.
Better? Really?
Come on, Roscoe, let's find some shelter in here.
This is what I signed up for.
It is, exactly.
After a 2-hour crossing, the team have managed to dry themselves off, and it's just a short 30-minute drive up the road to Shona and Sandy's parents' house.
How was that for you? Come on. Aye, well, what a crossing, wasn't it? Anyway, we've got here safely, so I'm going to have a quick look around and I'll be back out in a few minutes. I think we should crack on.
Hello.
Morning, lovely to meet you.
You too.
Can I introduce you to Roscoe?
Hello, Roscoe.
I think you'll be glad to get in out the rain.
I think so. Come on in, Sybelle. This is my sister Sandy.
Oh,
This is
lovely to
Sybelle.
meet you.
Good morning, how are you?
What an amazing place you've got here.
Thank you.
Lots of interesting things.
They would be the handcuffs, wouldn't they, to go with the whistle and the
And
scarf.
there's some other sort of...
The hat
The
and the
hat.
truncheon. Dad was in the police force for 25 years in Glasgow, Eastern Division, so all his. He walked the beat. A good old-fashioned policeman walked the beat. And he loved it. He'd no inclination to go in a car, he just loved walking the beat. Old-fashioned policing it was then, wasn't it?
Dad had to iron his uniform and he would iron this bit of his shirt because they wore the big jackets, so that was the only bit that was seen. So I used to laugh because that was all he would iron and then be ready.
Boots were always shining. Our school shoes were always shining because with a good spit and polish.
Nice to have the family connection to all, because of course provenance is everything in this world. Shame the truncheon doesn't have the coat of arms. Often you see them with the Glasgow coat of arms. It's fun, it makes a nice lot. Truncheon, there's quite a lot of collectors of truncheons, and it's just nice to have the other bits that go with it.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
you feel you want to part with it?
Yes, yeah, we've got plenty of pictures. Go for it.
At nearly 70 years old, these lots could make an attractive buy for collectors of police memorabilia.
So do you think it's going to be really difficult watching all your possessions going in this room looking different?
Yeah,
Are there going to be
there'll
lots of memories?
Lots of very many happy memories it will be.
Nobody can ever take those away from you. Right, lots to start with. I think you should clear your way, start upstairs, have a good search round, Michael.
Let's go. Black and white photographs, it must be the family. I'll leave these to the side.
Built by their great-grandfather in 1900, the house holds over 100 years of family heirlooms.
Oh, I like this. This has been worth uncovering. This is a Victorian games table, chess table. When this was made, Victorian time, there was no TV. So what did you do in the evening? And it was something you'd find in quite a grand house. It's got a nice bulbous base, sort of stained wood. So I can see this doing really well at auction.
Check. Can you beat that, Michael?
I'm actually fooled because it's a modern frame, but the painting is actually Victorian. It's an old painting, sort of late 19th century. Arran's one of these locations where it attracts artists from all over the country. So looking at this painting here, it is an Arran scene. It's signed James Stewart. It's dated 1892. You have the peak of Goat Fell, which everybody knows about Goat Fell. It's the highest peak on the island. And you have this lovely river running up here into Glen Rosa. But when you look at the location, an oil painting above a fireplace is never too good because the oils dry out. There is some cracking I can see now, carefully, the light hitting it just across the sky. But it's an attractive scene as it is of Scotland.
Let's hope a few cracks won't scare off the bidders back in air.
So this would be known as a corner chair. They were first introduced at the beginning of the 18th century. This one, of course, is much later. This is late Victorian. The very fine ones were made in mahogany, but this is oak. It's got what we call a drop-in seat. And hopefully, when I lift this, we would find the maker's mark.
The Maker's Mark allowed old cabinet makers to take credit for creating a beautiful piece of furniture.
So, looking at it closely, it's actually got a number here.
A number may refer to a company's patent number or identify the individual craftsman.
I suspect this has been made by a fairly local cabinet maker. Whoever made this was proud of it. They wanted to put their stamp on it.
The unearthing of the family heirlooms is proving a success so far. Wonder how Michael and Caroline are getting on upstairs.
Quite nice sticks in there. I like the one with the dog.
That's
That's
fun,
cool,
isn't it?
Is that a silver top one? Or?
Possibly looks Victorian, but I don't see a hallmark on it.
Right.
Maybe just plated.
Yep.
Some of these walking sticks were handcrafted by Shona and Sandy's granddad, who dabbled in a bit of carpentry as a hobby.
Michael spotted a lovely collection of walking sticks upstairs. And often these are handed down from generation to generation. And people do collect them, but they also look great in a hall stand in anyone's house. There'll definitely be buyers for them.
It's been a few hours of rummaging and packing, and with a ferry to catch, the team need to get a move on. There's just chance for a final look around to check that no treasures are left behind.
You're a beauty.
That's what I'm here for. Nice.
Well done to you.
Just spotted it lurking behind the table.
June 1965, Sheffield, Mappin and Webb.
I am so excited to find this. This is brilliant. It's a silver table lamp, and what's really special about it is that it's made by a company called Mappin and Webb, which is a really well-respected, renowned silversmith. And it was established in 1775. I think this will do really well at auction, and the collectors will love this.
And with the final things squeezed onto the van.
I think this is the last bit. I hope you two can fit it in.
Yep.
Shona and Sandy's parents' home now looks much sparser.
Wow. Jeepers creepers. That is amazing.
Absolutely our pleasure, but for us, the work's only beginning.
So is ours. Thank you so, so much. I'm feeling quite sad actually in here, kind of the end of an era, but I feel happy as well that we've achieved so much today.
We'll build on it and make it a happy home again.
Absolutely.
The clock is still ticking and we still have to catch the ferry, although we have made good time, but I need to get down to the ferry port.
Let's just hope the return journey is a little bit smoother. Safely back at the air sale room the next morning, specialist valuer Pippa is ready and waiting to assist Michael and Caroline with the unload.
I think I put a clock in this one. Oh, yeah. That's cute. That's Glasgow.
That's my favourite walking stick.
Lovely.
Once all the items are inside, they are unpacked, ready to be further researched. Michael has instructed David to investigate a box of coins he came back with.
Anything of interest?
There is, down at the bottom of all these crowns, a nice wee gold 1904 20 mark coin.
20 mark gold coins were issued in the German Empire under the reign of Wilhelm I between 1871 and 1915. No usable German gold currency has been used since, making this coin really rare.
I think a 20 mark piece there, I assume that's equivalent to like a British sovereign.
It is, yeah. It's not just collectors that buy these now, you get people that invest in them as well.
It's a great find.
It's a cracking find. Sybelle's busy researching more about the current value of the coin.
Gold has always been popular with the collectors and more particularly the investor. But this lovely gold coin will not be melted down because A, it will appeal to a collector who wants to put it in a cabinet, and of course, because it's coinage, could be traded on the bullion market. Now, the price of gold fluctuates hugely, and it is very much affected by the economic situation. It does affect what the pieces make at auction. So I'm really hoping the price of gold's high and there will be lots of demand on auction day for it.
It's been 2 weeks since Sybelle visited Shona and Sandy in Arran,
Oh my goodness, what a day.
and it's their chance to bid a final farewell to over 100 years of family history.
Oh, it's wild. Look at the stuff. Oh, there's a games table. Used to play drafts and that. She usually won though. Played with all these sticks as well. Do you remember that? He always said never go to the hill without a stick and a bar of chocolate. Good advice.
Well, it's been a really busy viewing. Lots of interesting things from Arran. We've uncovered quite a few treasures since we've come back. I'm hopeful that they're going to get a nice surprise today.
Morning. Morning. How are you?
Oh, someone's coming to see you. Hello. He remembers. Hello. But really, there's been quite a lot of interest in some of the pieces. In amongst all our sorting of it, we found quite an unusual gold coin that came from Germany. Was there any family connections?
Not that I'm aware of. Nope.
Definitely don't know of any.
So that's a mystery.
Fingers crossed, I think you're going to have a good day.
The sale room is buzzing with excited bidders, hopefully ready to part with some cash. Edwin and David are monitoring those online bids, and John is on portering duty. Buckle up, ladies. It's showtime.
Just like to welcome you from Arran today. I see you haven't brought the good weather with you.
No, at all.
No.
Kicking things off, it's their dad's truncheon. It's been paired with his policeman's decorative swagger stick.
There we go, his police stuff.
We've gone 10, 12, 15, 18, 20, 22,
This
25,
gentleman's interested.
28, 30, 32, 35, 38, 40, 42, 42.
He's out.
Anyone else going on at £42?
An internet bidder gets it. And after the other lot of their dad's handcuffs, hat and police briefcase go under Sybelle's gavel,
That's good.
it's time for
The Georgian style oak corner chair. 22, 5, 8, 35, 40, 42, 45. Going with David at 45.
That was in the hall. Yeah. Just as you went in the front door.
Anyone else going on at 55, 60, 60. Still on the internet, you're all out in the room at 60.
another online bidder.
91, the 12 assorted walking sticks.
Next is an assortment of 12 walking sticks belonging to over 4 generations of the family, some made by Shona and Sandy's grandfather himself.
Straight in at 10, 12, 15, 18, 22, 5, 8, 30, 2, 5, 8, 40, 5, 50, 5.
Goodness.
David at 65, 70, 5, 80, 5, 90, 5. I will come back to you in the room. 100, I won't miss you. 100, 100. With David at 100. Anybody else want in? Selling on the internet at 100.
Not bad. Let's see how the games table will do.
One of my personal favourites from the job. I thought this was lovely. Tilt-top games table. Hours of fun could be had on this. Everybody else likes it too, and we're straight in at 20 bid, 2, 5, 8, 30, 2, 5, 35, 35, 38, 40,
Drafts on that, didn't we?
45, 48, 50.
I don't remember playing else on it, but no, it was just
65,
drafts.
70, 100, 110. Any advance on £110.
Someone will be playing drafts on this for many more years to come.
That's better than I thought it was going to be.
Over the next 30 minutes, Sybelle fires through 60 more of Shona and Sandy's lots, including some bowler hats, the oil painting by the artist James Stewart, and the Mappin and Webb silver lamp base.
Go for it.
They'll look super at home.
Last, but certainly not least, it's the mystery item of the day. The gold German 20-mark coin dating back to 1904.
I'm going to start straight in at 180, 180, 190, 200, 220, 240,
No, I don't remember that.
280, 300,
Plenty of room bidders are eager for this.
380, at £380.
And that's how it's done.
That was a nice gem.
It was, yes.
The 20-mark coin goes to a keen bidder in the room.
Go and catch your boat. Yeah, excellent.
The plan was for the sisters to raise some cash to put towards renovating the family home. Have they raised enough to kickstart the process?
Hi, how are you two?
Hi, Rocco.
How did you find it?
Loved it.
I think the gold coin must have been a
Oh, it
surprise.
was.
It was tucked away in a wee box. So
That was the find
Find of the day, yes. Didn't know it was there.
glad you're pleased. And you're actually taking home 2,385, and that's after all charges.
Wow.
So
Thank you so
So
much,
much.
Sybelle.
you'll be able to a wee celebration on the
Yes.
day. On the way home.
As my mum said, I'll have a wee sherry to celebrate. Huge surprise.
That was a monstrous
Monstrous
surprise.
surprise.
Yes, absolutely.
Meant to be, things always happen for a reason, and this was happened for a reason. It's been good.
I think Sean and Sandy are so happy. They've had a good day. I had a really good feeling about their gold coin, and I'm so glad it's paid off for them.
Sybelle's great-grandfather, John Thomson, started out in the auction business back in 1880.
21349.
Now it's down to her to build up the business before handing over the reins one day to her son Cameron. And the pressure is always on to fill the auction houses with items. So another home with several generations of family items on offer is just the ticket.
Roscoe, isn't this fabulous? The wind in my hair, you in the back, Roscoe. We're ready to go anywhere.
Sybelle and Roscoe have got a 70-mile trip ahead of them to Rutherglen, a town just 3 miles from the centre of Glasgow. Caroline is following behind her with the van. They're meeting husband and wife Linda and Bruce. The pair met 45 years ago in Western Africa, while Linda was on a trip visiting her parents.
I went out on holiday and that was where I met Bruce, because he worked for the same company as Dad.
It was strange how we got together, really. We actually met, I was covered in...
Yeah, you were minging, Mum.
Yeah, I'd been working up in the mine department. They'd had a slight emergency. I wasn't too clean that day.
Linda and Bruce spent many years with Linda's mum and dad in Africa, and the four were inseparable.
We had some great times, and the many, many visits to places like Gabon, Kenya. We were a family.
Yeah, my parents retired after doing about 13 years in Africa, and they came back here.
In 2002, the family's world was turned upside down when Linda's dad sadly passed away.
Well, really, I think, you know, my mum, when Dad died, I think time sort of stood still for her. My parents were married for 52 years, and I think they adored each other.
In March 2022, Linda suffered another devastating loss with the death of her mum. It's only now that she's worked up the strength to sell her parents' property. Today, she and Bruce have made the 400-mile trip up from their home in Suffolk to begin the clear-out. But there's not just Linda's parents' stuff to sort through in this house.
It's been in the family since around the 1950s, when it first belonged to my uncle. And then my grandmother sold her house to come here, and my gran then passed away. And my mum and dad, who were living in Africa at the time, came and bought the house, and it's been the family home ever since.
But with each item coming with its own memory attached, Linda is not finding it easy to let go.
I need for somebody really to take over, because I would keep it all, just because of the sentiment.
Sybelle already knows there could be some potentially valuable bits and pieces at the house.
I've seen photos, there's some nice bits of silver, some gold jewellery.
Right.
I'm going to go in and have a look round, and then when you arrive, I'll be able to give you the heads up.
Sounds good.
Morning.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, lovely to meet you.
Hello, it's a good boy.
Is it hard if he comes in?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you
come
very
in.
much. You must be Bruce then.
I am.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
And have you any plans what you might do with any money you raise at auction?
My brother and I talked about it, and there are 3 great-grandchildren, so this would be nice for them.
Yeah. So I assume this is your beautiful granddaughter in the photos?
Yes, it is. That's her Sienna.
Oh, lovely. So she must be a great comfort to you.
Yes, she is.
But I'm really keen to go and have a good rummage and look through things. So if you want to point me in the right direction, I think we'll pop this young man into the garden.
No worries.
While Roscoe shakes out those kinks, Sybelle gets the tour. First stop, Linda's mum's old bedroom.
So most of the bits are actually things your mother's gathered up over the
Yeah,
years?
my mum and my gran. There's also my mum's jewellery is there. We've taken out the pieces that she wanted people to have. There's a few bits that belong to my grandmother in there as well.
Jewellery was made to be worn.
Anything in here, you're welcome to.
Seems to have been a very keen watch collector. There seems vast numbers of ladies' wristwatches. This jewellery box is beautiful. Lots of costume jewellery, but also looks like some really exciting pieces of gold. This is what we've actually come here for. I think there could be upwards of £1,000 in this, but I'm going to take it back to the sale room and then have a really good rummage through it. Well, I think if you're happy, I'm going to make a start.
No worries.
That's perfect. Catch up with you later.
Yeah.
With the jewellery located, it's time to see if there's anything else of value here today.
It's actually a piece of traditional Scottish type history. A shortbread mould. Shortbread is a Scottish delicacy. It's recorded in Scotland in sort of the 15th, 16th century. So basically it was something that the Highlanders put in their sporran, they went up the hills with it, it was hard, nothing like the amazing buttery shortbread we get now. And often it would have an imprint of a thistle like this on the top of it. So basically you just push that down onto your pastry and it leaves a lovely thistle indentation. I also rather like this.
This is what's known as a darning mushroom, a wooden device used to repair holes in clothing and bed linen. Darning was particularly popular during the Second World War, where the British government's Make, Do and Mend campaign encouraged households to restore and reuse their existing clothing, as new clothing was rationed.
You slip your sock over this and then with wool you could actually repair it beautifully. I actually, and now I'm showing my age, remember my mother darning tights for me for school. So 2 great pieces, bit of fun, not a huge value, and I'm going to lock the 2 together.
A nifty tool for a seamstress, or perhaps a quirky collectible for the history buffs. Best get those 2 on the van. Ah, right on time.
Morning. So it's really more or less ready, gonna go and have a rummage and then we'll just get loaded up and get you back on the road before the weather deteriorates anymore.
Yeah, sounds good.
Brilliant, let's head in.
Leaving Caroline to roam downstairs, Sybelle tackles the mountain of boxes upstairs that contains things from Linda, her mum and dad, and her grandmother.
Yeah, I feel okay. You know, I'm quite sort of happy for her to go and do her thing, you know.
Oh, a tea set.
You know, everything was a worry because I really just didn't know what to do with it, and I feel a lot easier about it now.
This looks interesting. It's a cream Bakelite radio made by a company called Ferguson.
Ferguson was one of the earliest electronics companies. Founded in the UK pre-World War II, the firm made radio sets for the British market based upon the popular American models.
So the British public were hungry for American-style items. Real shame about the condition of this. The dial's damaged. I suspect it's fallen off something. It's got a big crack. Fair chance this radio will be sold to a collector because you can no longer get parts for them. A lot of people say it's nice to be digital, but there's something nice about these old radios. They've got a real charm to them.
This retro boombox might have seen better days, but let's hope its nostalgic appeal will be enough to lure in a bidder come auction day. After 4 hours and countless trips up and down those stairs, the van is filling up nicely. There's just time for a last-minute peruse of the bedroom.
Wow! Tabletop piano. Does it play?
Here she goes.
Your next career could be a concert pianist.
Yes, a concert for tiny, tiny people.
Well, the little piano came from, I think I would be about 4 or 5 years old. But that was the gift that I got from Santa Claus, was that little piano.
That would make this 60 years old. Sorry, Linda. After scouring every box, nook and cranny of Linda's mum and dad's home, Sybelle and Caroline have filled the van with 3 generations of family collectibles. And the day is done.
Come in.
Wow, it's empty.
And how does it feel that it's finally gone? It's tough. I appreciate how tough it is.
I'm pleased though.
It's been my pleasure to help you out, and I really hope it's, going to make going forward easier for you.
It will.
Sure.
And I'm going to head back down to Dumfries.
All right.
And see you in a couple of weeks' time at the auction.
Yeah, I think it probably will be emotional to see it getting sold. And then it's finally gone. It's really gone then.
You won't buy it back?
No, I won't buy it back.
Home time, Roscoe.
I think the jewellery box and contents is going to be the highlight of this job. Can't wait to get it back to the sale room, get a good chance to look through it. I'm confident we'll have the buyers and hopefully we'll get a good result for them.
Caroline arrives back at the sale room and cataloguer and jewellery specialist Dennis is ready and waiting to inspect the latest haul of goodies.
Let's have a look.
Interesting. Here, some jewellery.
We've got some gold rings. What I'll do with these is I'll weigh them, check the marks to see what grade of gold they are.
I think there's more in here, but again...
But we'll get them inside, get out the rain, and we'll get them looked at.
Dennis wastes no time tucking straight into that jewellery box.
So this is the box that Sybelle brought in, and it's predominantly costume jewellery. But there was some items of gold. This one, for example, we've got a Queen Victoria half sovereign, and it's been mounted into a 9-carat gold shank.
This half-sovereign ring is made from one of a pair of earrings belonging to Linda's grandmother.
So this is probably going to get around 180, 220 pounds.
And these bracelets were part of Linda's mum's treasured collection.
Some of these chains and bracelets are very decorative. The ID part of this bracelet, it's an ID bracelet, the ID part is clearly stamped and it's 9-carat gold, but the chain isn't.
Without hallmarks on the actual chains, it's hard to identify what metal they're made of. These will need further researching. Regardless, there looks like a good selection here, right, Dennis?
So overall, I think we're looking at best part of £1,000 potentially for the gold that we managed to get from this costume jewellery box.
Sybelle is busy lotting up the rest of Linda's family treasures. One of the items taken from the house is a rocking chair that Linda bought her dad for his 60th birthday. Son Cameron, who's up for the day from uni, has popped in for a quick visit, and Sybelle has seized the opportunity to put his knowledge to the test.
Do you know much about rocking chairs?
Not really, no.
Originally were most popular in America in sort of the late 1700s.
Yeah.
Virtually every household had one because, of course, it's very soothing. You know, when you were a baby, you loved being rocked. And if you look at this one and you take these are known as the rockers off it.
Yeah. It's just a...
What type of chair does it
just a
remind you of?
Average farmhouse carver, like kitchen carver.
Spot on. The original design started out as a farmhouse country chair. You see chairs like this in so many kitchens and houses we go to.
Yeah.
But these look really comfy. Do you think we should give them a go?
I'd like a seat.
You think you'd had a busy day? Oh. We could just rock the day away.
There's no time for snoozing on the job, guys. You've got a sale to prep for. It's been 2 weeks since Sybelle visited Linda and Bruce at Linda's parents' home in Rutherglen.
Okay, you excited?
Yeah, a bit, yeah.
Today, the pair have made the 350-mile trip up from their home in Suffolk to see the family collectibles go under the gavel.
Remember, we got that done for Dad.
I think Linda and Bruce could have a great day today.
Yeah.
My baby piano. Still works. Seems funny to see it all out like that, isn't it?
I think the ones to watch today could be Linda's mum's bracelets because although the chains aren't actually hallmarked, we've tested them and they are gold. So I think they could be in for a really nice surprise today.
That's great news. They'll make just one of 71 lots Linda has in today's sale, and they all come with memories attached.
A little bit emotional, but excited. You know, I suppose with my mum, she just never ever could get rid of the stuff, you know, because it belonged to her mum. She had memories attached to that too. But I think, you know, there comes a time when you need to stop collecting this stuff.
We have to move on.
Morning, lovely to see
Good morning.
you. So, how does it feel to see everything?
It's emotional, isn't it?
We had quite a lot of interest today.
Oh, you have?
Yes, you know, a lot of things will go online.
Looking forward to it.
Good, well, I really hope you enjoy the experience. Go and grab your seats and I'm just going to get ready and we'll get the show on the road. Catch up with you later.
The sale room seats are filling up and buyers online are checked in and raring to go. Assisting Sybelle today, we have Emma and Caroline keeping an eye on internet bids. And we've got Darren on portering duty.
Morning, Linda. Morning, Bruce.
Morning.
First up is the Victorian half-sovereign ring that Linda inherited from her grandmother.
And we start straight in at 170, 180,
That belonged
190,
to my granny.
200, 210, 220. I'm out on commission at 220, 220, 240. With Emma at 240, 260, 260 at £260.
What a way to begin the auction.
We're off to a flying start.
Next is the rocking chair that Linda gifted her dad on his 60th birthday 35 years ago.
Start straight in at 20 bid, 20 bid, 22, 5, 8, 30, 2, 32. Bids on the book at 32, 35, 38, 38 at £38.
Sold. The rocking chair caught the eye of an online bidder.
The Chinese ebonized toy piano.
Oh, here you go.
Piano.
This actually plays a tune.
It does, you played it.
She did, she did.
Oh, yeah, you
Round
did.
of applause, Caroline played it. 5, 8, 8, 10. It takes up a lot less space than a real one. 10, 12, and we can carry it out for you with pleasure. 12, 15, 15. Anyone else going on at 15, 18?
That was a present for
at
Santa
18.
Claus
Anyone
at a
else going
party.
on at £18?
An internet bidder wins it, and perhaps Caroline will serenade us again later if we're lucky.
I rather like this, the vintage wooden shortbread or butter mould, and of course the darning mushroom.
not going to be darning any socks anytime soon.
8 bid, 8 bid, and it's going on. 10, 12, 15, 18, 20, 2, 5, 8, 30. Anyone else going on at 30? At 30. Selling on the screen, you're all out in the room, mate, no mistake. At £30.
Socks with no holes and shortbread cookies galore for some lucky buyer. Up next is the Ferguson Bakelite radio that's a little worse for wear, but Sybelle has teamed it up with a Ferguson reel-to-reel tape recorder to sweeten the deal.
10 bid, straight in at 10, 10, 10, £10.
Don't know where that
12,
radio
15,
came from.
15, 15.
It was in the loft.
Anyone else going on at 15 for the radio and the reel-to-reel at 15? At £15.
Well, that didn't set the airwaves alight. But we're about to kick things up a gear as we move on to the rest of the jewellery. Over the next 10 minutes, Sybelle fires through 19 lots of it, including some costume jewellery.
65.
A mixture of gold and yellow metal lockets.
120.
And a collection of ladies' wristwatches.
25.
And now for the final lot. It's Linda's mum's bracelets that we now know are all gold. Let's see how these beauties fare under the gavel.
40,
She wore one of them all the time.
160, 200, 220, 220, 240, 280, 300, 320. With Emma at 320, 350. You're all out in the room at £350.
What a finale. And with that, the sale is done. Linda saw 3 generations of family heirlooms fly off to new homes today. It was an emotional experience letting it go. But can the end result put a smile on the faces of her grandchildren? Because all the money raised today, she plans spending on them.
Hi again.
Hi.
How do you think it's gone? Did you enjoy yourself, which is
Yeah,
much
we
more
did.
important?
Yeah, we did. We did
Truly,
enjoy
yeah,
ourselves. Yeah.
How did you feel your mum's jewellery went?
Yeah, that was surprising, really. Good.
But no, once we got in amongst it, the jewellery, there was some nice
Yeah.
pieces came out and things. So if I said you were taking home over £1,000, would you be pleased?
Absolutely. Yeah. The grandkids will love that.
Well, you're actually taking home more than double that.
Oh, really?
You're taking home £2,562.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Really.
That's really good.
It's been a pleasure. It's been lovely meeting you both, and Roscoe, thoroughly enjoyed playing in your garden.
Yeah, the day's been really good. It's been great to finally let the stuff go. Maybe a bit of closure.
As I expected, the bracelets have done really well today and have flown out the door. But some of the other jewellery's done well, particularly at the gold half-sovereign ring. I'm so delighted we've been able to help them move on to the next chapter of their lives.